And then we can talk about big dick unicorns.
Why?
I don't know. Why not?
That's stupid. You're stupid.
Lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV. Turn off your mind.
Hey everyone!
Hi!
Be stupid.
I am stupid.
We are Soul of a Gamer. We are back once again to explain another shitty game to you.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, shitty?
I don't. Yes and no.
We'll get into it.
Yes,
we'll get into it.
But yes, this is Soul of a Gamer. Each week we play a different video game. We give ourselves unique challenges sometimes. Sometimes we're just playing through. We give you our in-depth review afterwards.
Sometimes we get 30-minute blowjobs while we're playing. And we have to concentrate on the game and not come.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jin, what have you been doing? I haven't been getting these 30-minute blowjobs.
So apparently he hasn't been getting it. He's doing it wrong. All right, so here we go. Last week's game was Far Cry 3.
Yes.
And we liked that game. That game was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And this week's game is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. The game!
Complete edition.
Yes. So when this game came out, a little background on it, I guess there was some kind of licensing thing.
Yeah.
And they pulled it from the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't on sale for a couple of years, and they brought it back for the Xbox One recently.
Yes.
In the last couple of months, I think.
Yeah, I think like a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And it was interesting going into it because it's definitely like they try to make it old school, and I hated that. Because I remember playing like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
You're like on the side scroll, but you're up and down too.
Yes.
It's like their faux 3D bullshit that they tried, and it did not work out well.
This is definitely a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah. And I don't like those.
I figured out that I don't either.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Until and they don't explain anything in this game. I got lucky, but we'll get into that. So why don't we start with what's on the box?
What's on the box?
I love it.
Yes.
So there is no box for this game, actually. It was
Yeah.
a digital release only, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure,
I
too.
think they had a couple of copies, but they pull them pretty fast. So if there was a back of the box, it's probably just... Take the movie everybody loves in the comic book and turn it into a game.
That's pretty much essentially just what it is. It's just a very comic book version of the movie.
Yeah. And I mean, this was a comic, I think, before it was a movie and a game and all that. So let's move on to the next segment. What's the next segment?
Yeah. Are we jamming?
I don't know.
Are we jamming?
We're not.
We're not?
No.
Oh,
no, we are.
Oh, actually, the music in this was pretty good.
Yeah, I did like the music a lot. I expected a little bit more rock because I think he's in a band, right? Mm-hmm. Scott Pilgrim's in a band, like he's the bass player or something. So I expected them to do more like of a rock-oriented thing, and they really went with this like electronic, old 80s school sound of the music and going in. Obviously, no voice acting or anything in this. All scroll texts and stuff like that, but yeah, I expected a little bit more like indie rock music. But I
was definitely expecting more of the music from the movie. Like I even wanted to hear some of the songs from the movie because some of the songs from the movie are just so fucking kick ass. Like especially the one against like the twin brothers. Yeah. Like they had that whole band contest against each other, and like on one of the levels there's even like a thing where it looks like you're about to play Guitar Hero against one of the bosses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh hell
the movie star one, and then you just break his guitar.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh well, that's kind of lame. I kind of wanted the actual music, but the music in this was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. It was that electronic 80s classic. I mean, it was still fun to scroll through, and I like the end of the level music when they're like, every end of the level, basically, you're making out with Ramona, which is fucking stupid. But
yeah, I thought that was weird, too.
It's so weird. And then everyone's just watching you make out with her, and I'm like, why are you guys
Sometimes they're making weird faces, sometimes they're doing different things.
Like, they're fucking tonguing each other over there.
What are they doing?
I think he's got his finger in her butthole.
Probably.
Oh. Yeah, that's just the music in this was just you expect more. You really do. And I kind of expected kind of like Portal was, where at the end of the game maybe you have the whole band go up and they'll play a song, right?
That would have been really cool. Even if they would end it with that, just one song from the movie or something.
Yeah, and have them all be 8-bit characters. Like I thought that would be cool. Yeah. But we didn't get that, unfortunately.
I think the best rendition of that I've seen in a game was actually I think it was Call of Duty Black Ops 2. At the end of the game, Avenged Sevenfold's in the game, and they actually like the two people after they retire, after like it's them talking and telling their story throughout the game, and it's them at like the Avenged Sevenfold concert, and it's actually like a fully CGI concert of the Avenged Sevenfold during the credits, and like you actually like see the band like fully rendered and stuff. And
that's really
cool. It's fucking sweet. I'm like, why couldn't you do that for this?
Yeah,
like,
really. Like, they really should have done a little bit more with the music, but I mean, that wasn't the point in the game, so I guess that's fine. So that's basically it for the music. There's not a lot with the music in this game.
Yeah, there's really not.
It stays pretty consistent throughout the entire game.
Yeah, and there's not like a huge... You don't fully, like... there's not like one song in it that's like, oh, this one's the best song. Yeah. Like, they all kind of go together. They don't really have anything to differentiate from each other.
Yeah, very streamlined.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, next segment.
Which is... How does it play?
I don't know.
How does it play?
I love that one.
I know, it's a great one. Which, yes, people, please let us know if you like these.
These transitional pieces.
Yeah, these are fun.
So this game plays really poorly when you first get into it.
Yes.
Honestly, I literally texted you. I was like, I fucking hate this game so much right now because you're just so weak.
Yeah.
You have literally, that's a really shitty way to start a game. I don't know why they did this.
No, it's bad.
Yeah, like you have a level up system in this game where your stats don't increase, which is silly. Why would they do that? Why would they make a level up system where your stats don't increase as you get more levels?
And the only thing you get every time you level up is you get one ability.
Yeah, which some of them are broken abilities for sure, but the level up seems like useless. You might as well just make that a buy thing. You buy those abilities because the level up just feels so worthless besides just getting that one ability.
Yeah.
You get money in this game as you defeat enemies, and you can use that money to buy stats.
Or snacks or stuff like that.
But your best bet is stats.
Yeah.
And this is where I got a little confused because it feels like each level has its own store, which it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it feels like it should, where your stats are temporary, and then once you're done with the level, you give up all your stats that you bought. But that's not the way it is. You buy it and you're permanently that stat.
Yeah.
So I didn't know this. Going into the game, I'm playing and I'm dying constantly, and I'm pissed. And then one of my friends is like, oh, I didn't know you bought that game. Let's all play together. And then he came in and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm beating him up. He's like, you're at like 1 strength. You should really go buy some stats. I'm like, you can buy stats? So he shows me where the hidden store is, where you can buy like the bionic arm and the phoenix thing and all this like stuff that increases your guts, your HP, your strength, your defense. And he's like, buy fucking strength first. So I buy the bionic arm, which gives you 50 strength.
Yeah.
And I buy it twice. So your max stat's 100.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is way stupid. Like, this game got a lot more fun once you buy that stuff. But I'm like, why did they do this? And eventually I had to just go grind. I found a level, the end of the Ninja Girl.
Oh, okay.
She gives a shit ton of cash.
Yes.
So I beat her like 4 or 5 times in a row, and then I just went maxed out all my stats.
So after you had told me all this stuff about needing to grind and all this stuff, and you were kind of giving me the heads up of, hey, you need to buy your stats and stuff, because I hadn't actually played. You played it a little bit before I did. And so I went into this just kind of blind at first, and I tried doing the first couple levels, and I lost all my lives. Like, I was down to my last life during the first boss fight. And then I was like really just like running around, just like not being able to do anything. And then I was like, I'm going to look up a tips and tricks video and see if I'm just doing something wrong, or if there's a better way to do things. And this one tips and tricks video is like, what you need to do is cheat at the beginning of the game.
Oh.
And so there's this cheat to get $50.
Yeah.
And you just do it over and over again. You buy a snack in between, because if you use the cheat, it kills you.
Oh.
But if you have a snack, it doesn't kill you.
Interesting.
So you would buy a snack and you do the Konami code, actually. Yeah. Everyone knows that. If you don't, look it up.
Yeah. Very famous cheat code.
And then they told me to go to the video store, and it's at the very beginning in the shopping district.
Yeah.
And if you go to the video store, he has a late fee of $504.25. So you pay that off. And if you pay that off, and then you can rent movies then from him again.
Yeah.
If you rent the Shaolin Monk, it gives you 10 of each stat.
Oh, nice.
And it's like $5 for the movie.
Okay.
And so you could do that 10 times and fully max out all of your stats.
Nice. I didn't do that. I just bought the bionic arm.
And then, you could buy another movie that gave you a life.
Yeah.
And then you could buy another movie that gave you experience if you wanted to
level up faster. Yeah, and this game, it really gets into this whole like buy stats in the beginning mentality, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
because it makes the game feel like clunky going through. You're like, okay, my level ups are worthless besides getting me health back, and that's all. And I did find I made a mistake. I should have bought defense first.
Yeah,
because I was getting destroyed by everything, and then I went back and finally bought some defense. I'm like, okay, now I'm alive.
Because if you get good enough at like blocking and you get good enough at doing some of the comboing and stuff, you can keep someone in the air for quite a while and juggle them quite a bit. Yeah. So you don't really have to worry about offense as much as you do defense. Because getting hit
one hit for 40 health, and you're like, I'm already dead.
Yeah, you start out with 100 health.
Yeah.
So
and you can, I think, bring it up to 200.
Yes,
that's
your max. 200's max.
And in this game, I fucking hate blocking.
Yes.
Blocking is a broken mechanic when it can't be broken.
Yes.
So they have blocking in this game that cannot be broken.
Yes.
And you can't even, like, you can grab people, I think, and throw them, but if they're blocking, you can't do that.
Exactly.
And I was like, what? So like in other games, like Mortal Kombat, when they're blocking, you can grab them to break the block.
Yeah.
Throw them. Because that's the whole point.
Or you can do a heavy hit to break the block.
And so in this game, they're just like, fuck it, blocking's invincible. If you block, you're fucking invincible.
Which is stupid because there's a few enemies, especially like the blonde-haired guys, that just sit and all they do is block. And they don't do a fucking goddamn thing.
And if they hit you one time, they're going to hit you 12.
Yes.
That's the bullshit part. So you have to wait for them to stop blocking and hit them. If they get one hit on you, they're going to continue hitting you until you're on the ground.
And horde mentality in this game sucks. If you get surrounded, especially when there's a bunch of items on the ground, you're just getting pummeled by baseballs and baseball bats.
The worst was the snow level when they all have snowballs. They don't do any damage, but they
disrupt you.
Yeah, they disrupt you and they can knock you. Mm-hmm. And when you get knocked, you're fucking on the ground and they're all around you when you get up, so they're just beating the shit out of you.
Yes.
So this game, I think they made a big mistake with what they did with the stats. I think not having that level up system, like accumulate a little bit of stats to get you like through certain parts of the game was a very big mistake by them. And then making the stores hidden, that was stupid.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah, don't give a little idea in the beginning of the game, like, hey, make sure you're exploring around and looking for things that might be hidden. They don't say that. So I have no idea. Like, literally, I got past the first level and the second level, and then I was like, the game's fucking bullshit. I can't fucking do anything. The level ups do shit. And then that's when my buddy joined and finally told me, like, yeah, you gotta go to the store.
I didn't even notice at first that you could go into the buildings, because it just makes it seem like you're just going on a street.
Yep.
And so you're just going through these levels, and it just keeps on telling you to go. Like, that's the only information you ever get is go.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. These games are not like the kind where they have like, hey, make sure you explore this stuff.
Yeah.
But still, give a little hint.
Yeah, seriously. Right? Like some sort of like dialogue or some sort of character is like, hey, you might want to look around. There's some hidden shops in the walls sometimes.
Yeah. Or something like that. Like, I had no idea, so I haven't read the comics. I don't know what the star means. If you notice, that's in front of a lot of stuff that you know in the secret areas. I've never seen the comics, so I don't know if that star is important. It looks like a pentagram kind of.
Yeah. So there's a lot of these things, and like all of the sections where like you go into like a shortcut area, those were really trippy and weird with like the flying piggy banks.
So all those, they're all meant to be shit, what are they called? So in the comics, that's a whole thing.
Okay.
It goes like in between dimensions or something a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really weird. But also that's meant to be like a grind area.
Oh, okay.
So you get a bunch of money so you can go buy some shit.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, some of the moves that you get for leveling up are really cool. I love I don't know how you get the last one. So there's one, you get 2 special abilities. The one, the uppercut one, like makes energy shoot out from you.
The first tech ability,
Yeah, how do you get the second tech ability? I don't
know. I don't know if you have to beat the game with multiple characters, because I know you can also unlock the Mega Scott or Negative Scott. You can unlock Negative Scott.
Yeah.
But to unlock Negative Scott, you have to beat the game with every character.
Yeah, and that's what I figured. I was like, should I go back and beat the game? Because it was a fun game, but I mean, the grind is just shitty. You have to spend an hour grinding, and then you can have fun in the game.
Yeah, and even like the cheat way that I did, it takes like probably 5 to 10 minutes to get to where you need to be to even do anything. But even some of those levels are still hard as hell, even when you're fully maxed out.
I mean, I still had fun with them.
Yeah, no, some of them were pretty cool. Like, there were some levels that were really aggravating. Like, we'll get into some of those later. But
with the story. But yeah, I mean, for mechanics-wise, this wasn't a terrible game as long as you grind for an hour. So that's the thing about this game. It seems like it's a meant to grind game, which I totally get. Some games are like that, but normally they put in a little bit of story along with that grind.
And it probably is better when you're playing with multiple people.
Oh, it was way better. But they double up all the enemies.
Yeah.
So no matter you're playing with one person, they give you the amount of enemies in accordance to that. But with 2 people, they give you more. 3 people, they give you more.
But you could bounce things off of each other and coordinate and stuff.
It was way easier for sure with another person.
Yeah.
I had a lot more fun playing with Josh than playing by myself.
Nice.
So, all right, you want to move on to... That's pretty much all the game mechanics. There's not too much in this game. You punch, you kick, you block.
And you grab.
Yeah, you can grab, and you unlock all these abilities.
I guess I will say, picking up items in this game is kind of annoying. You have to be directly above them, and it's one of your hit buttons as well.
Yeah, so if you're trying to, combo into a kick combo, you're just... And both hit buttons pick up items.
Yes.
Which was silly.
Yes.
Very silly.
I agree.
There's 10 buttons on the controller, you're using 2 of them. Fucking make one of those other buttons to pick up buttons.
That was the other thing, is you literally are using A to jump, X to hit, and Y to kick.
Yeah. And that's it.
And then B to block.
Yeah.
That's literally all of the buttons you use for this game.
They could have made the right or left trigger the pickup button, but nope, they just decided to make them all the same. And that's a little annoying because, again, you're in a combo, you're trying to do stuff, and you happen to move them too close to an item, and you just pick it up, and you're like, well, that just broke my combo.
One of the greatest things, though, that I did enjoy is that you could interact with the items, after they were already thrown.
Yeah.
So, you could throw an item, bounce it off their head, and then punch the bottle again when it flies back to you, and it would fly back at them.
Yeah.
So you didn't even necessarily
try that too much, you get hit yourself.
Yes.
A lot, which is what I did.
But it's fun.
Yes, yeah. You punch the item and it hits the wall and you're like, oh god, that hit me in the face.
Yeah, you have to watch
25 damage. It was ridiculous.
But yes. So that's the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, they're pretty basic. I mean, if you play this game, you'll see side scroller.
Yeah, if you played Battletoads or TMNT or any of those games,
any fucking arcade game from the 90s,
it's exactly that.
Yeah. All right, on to the next segment.
It's story time. Let's get started.
People are going to just see us moving our heads. I know there's going to be an animation on the screen, but they're going to see us just moving our heads kind of lame.
Probably.
So this story is very basic.
It's very, very basic.
I'm a little confused to the point of this story.
Honestly, yes.
Why did you have to defeat all her exes? I watched the movie when it came out.
Yeah.
In 2009 or 2010 or whatever. And that's the only time I've ever seen the movie. So I don't remember why you're doing any of this stuff.
So
I know he's a pizza delivery guy, I think. Right?
I think something like that.
He's a delivery guy of some kind.
I watched the movie for the first time last year.
Yeah.
And
it's a good movie.
It's a fantastic movie, especially for an indie movie.
What's his name? What's the guy's name? The lead guy?
Michael Cera.
I was going to say Cena. I'm like, not John Cena. No, that's not right.
It's got a huge cast.
Yeah.
And it's got so many Marvel people, or so many superheroes in it. Yeah. You got Superman. Brandon Reeves was the vegan ex-boyfriend. You got Chris Evans was the movie star ex-boyfriend. You got Mae Whitman, who was the voice of Katara. She was also in The Duff and stuff like that. She was the lesbian girlfriend.
Yep. Ninja.
Yeah, the ninja one. Then you had Brie Larson, who was actually Scott's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
In the movie.
I didn't even know he had an ex-girlfriend.
Yes, and it was his ex-girlfriend, and then she ended up...
Brie Larson.
That's
like early 20s Brie Larson.
When she was a pop star.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know that. She actually has a couple of pop albums out.
Yeah.
But yeah, then she was actually dating Brandon Reeves in the movie, I think, which is why they ended up crossing paths. And then there's the twin brothers, the Asian twin brothers. They weren't anyone really famous, I don't think.
Were their powers being Asian?
They in the movie, and I wish they would have done this battle in this game, because in the movie they have this fucking awesome Battle of the Bands concert thing.
Yeah.
And every time they're playing music, images are coming to life and fighting each other in the middle of this stage. Cool. And it is the coolest battle sequence, most unique battle sequence I've ever seen in a movie, probably.
Oh, did you notice that? So when the bosses came up, it said their powers.
Yeah.
And with them, it was being Asian.
Yes.
Yeah, power, being Asian.
I was like, all right.
The first guy was the only normal one. Power, mystic.
Right.
And then everyone's like, being Asian. super big dick.
Pretty much.
Why? Super popular. So you start this game out as Ramona's boyfriend. Ramona is this girl who has 7 evil exes.
Yes.
And they're evil, which I don't quite understand either. But it's like everyone who dates her gets corrupted or something, maybe. I really don't understand the story.
Yeah, like her... It has something to do with her oldest ex, Gideon, the main ex.
Yeah.
He...
Who's a Greek god, apparently.
Yes, it's such a weird story. It's really hard to get into. Just watch the movie or read the story or play the...
So we'll start with this. You start out and you have to beat her 7 exes. So you're going to start with the first one, who is the mystic one. I don't remember his name. Now, I'm not going to remember any of these exes' names because all of them were just like, holy shit, what is going on?
Something Patel. Danny Patel or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And you go and you fight. You have to go through... So you're in Canada, by the way, which I thought was hilarious because you get a bunch of Canadian money. Yeah. And every time I'm like, I bet this smells like maple syrup because, you know, their dollars smell like maple syrup. It's fucking hilarious. But, so you're in Canada. The first part is like you're going through, I don't know, like a downtown Ontario, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And then you're going through a shopping district and you're going to this club to fight this guy. I think the point of going there was to listen to a band, but for some reason he's there. So you enter the club and he jumps out and he's like, I'm the first ex-boyfriend or the 7th ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
And you have to fight him and he's really fucking annoying.
He is super annoying.
So the thing about him is he summons like these angel things.
These harpies.
Harpies, yeah. So you have to, the first time he does it, they're just going in a circle and you just have to kill them.
Which they're not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad. But the second time he does it, they're shooting shit at you constantly.
And I couldn't kill them.
Yeah. Well, you don't. You have to just fight him. I ignored them.
Okay, well, I don't know if it was just I was getting rocked or something, but like they were constantly shooting these fireballs, and if he would hit me, then I would get hit by a fireball, then I get hit by a fireball, then I get hit by a fireball, and I would be in this continuous loop, and I would lose a life almost instantly. And I was like, what is going on?
I found that when you go to the bottom of the screen,
they don't hit you as much.
Yeah, so it's a little cheese. You'll find a bunch of cheeses in this game. That's one of them. Just go to the bottom of the screen, hit him up. He doesn't do a lot with combos. He'll knock you down a couple times, but he's not a combo guy. So you can really hit him a bunch.
He's not bad. It's the harpies that were the second harpies were the terrible.
And the one thing that I like to do when I got them on the ground is you slide kick. Yes. And you just continuously hit them while they're on the ground.
I was doing the same thing.
Yep.
I really like juggling people in the air too. Yeah. That was my favorite thing.
He is not a hard boss though. No. He's just annoying. Mechanic wise, he's very annoying, but he doesn't do a lot. Yes. He picks up like a cup and throws it at you, but that doesn't do any damage. Yeah. And I'm like, this is great. How does it knock me down? It's one of the red, what are they called?
Red solo cups.
Yeah, the red solo cups. But it knocks you down when it gets thrown at you. And you're like, what? Ow!
You're just startled by it.
Yeah. So you beat him and he blows up.
Yes.
So I don't understand.
Which is another thing in this game where every time you defeat one of these guys, they have something weird happen to them. And you're like, what?
Yeah. I love the story of this game because it is funny. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. So then you move on to the second boss. Is that the movie one?
Yes, I believe so.
So you go to this movie studio, and I thought this was really cool, actually, during the game. So you go in and you, have a director who just yells, action! And, you become part of a movie, and these guys are running across, and they start blowing up randomly, and aliens come out, and Godzilla comes out. I thought that was a cool fight
That was really cool. Yeah. It was really funny. I really liked the way that they did that. It was really unique set piece for that level.
Honestly, and it really brought a lot out, because you're, literally, you can see the camera that's filming you in black and white. It's sweet. It's like an old Asian movie, like an old martial arts movie. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, no, this was probably one of my favorite levels in the game just because of that. Just because of how ridiculous a lot of the enemies were. Like those fire-breathing dragon plushies.
Yeah, they're so fucking... And then they would get tired, they'd take off their helmet for a second, put it back on. It was so fucking funny. So this level's a little annoying. You get bigger people. Yeah. Some of the people in this are small grunts, and some of them are bigger grunts. Mm-hmm. And that's super annoying.
And then some of them have powers.
Yeah, some of them have... The aliens have laser guns. Yes. The plushy guys can breathe fire. Yeah. So you defeat these guys, and you do a cool thing in the movie set where you... it's the Indiana Jones moving wall thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to break something to open a door to stop the moving wall from crushing you. I thought that was really cool, fun. In this level. But eventually you end up at the end and you fight the movie star guy.
Yes.
He has a skateboard, right?
Yes.
I never understood what you use the skateboard for. You can pick up and it's item gained, but it doesn't explain how to use it.
I never understood that either.
Yeah.
Because like that was a weird thing. And that was one of the funniest scenes in the movie, honestly. Was Chris Evans as this character was just hilarious. Like all the time he's like, yeah, I remember that when I was smoking weed in the back of my Winnie. Stupid stuff like that. And like he ends up having this fight with him. And then like what happens in the game, once you defeat him, it goes into this like cutscene where he grinds down this rail and then crashes and dies.
Yeah.
That's literally how he dies in the movie too.
That's sweet.
He's like, I love that. I bet you can't go down that that death rail. Oh, I can do anything. I don't need my stunt double for that.
Yeah. So you fight this. He's more of a bruiser, I think, right?
Yeah, he's definitely
literally,
a bruiser.
he doesn't have any powers, I don't think. All he really does is he goes in and he just buffs up and he beats you.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't really do anything. It's not like everyone else had powers or like something interesting about them. But he's the only one who's kind of just like, yeah, I beat people up. I beat up nerds.
Which kind of makes sense because in the movie he is the only one that's just basic. Everyone else has powers in the movie too, and he doesn't.
He's just basic. He's a basic bitch.
Yeah, he is just a basic bitch.
So you defeat him and you get a skateboard, which like we said, I don't
know if it does anything.
It says item gained when you get it, but it doesn't seem to do anything.
No, I don't know if like each character has a different story or something. Because I'm guessing you played it as Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, I played as Scott too. Pink shirt, Scott.
Blue shirt. So fuck off. Pink shirt. Get out of here.
I like it.
Who's the third guy?
This is the vegan. The guy in white.
What did he do?
He had the giant like tentacle arm thing that came out and like did all weird kind of shit to you. Like that was his power.
Oh, the radiation guy. That's right. Yeah. I completely forgot about him. He's like a rock star. He's of some kind. In the game, it appears that he's a rock star.
I think he's some sort of like star, but he's dating Brie Larson in the movie.
Yeah, and he's got these two girls.
Yeah.
So this is so fucking weird. So this level was like one of the ones I didn't like because going through it, I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where I am. I'm at a club of some kind, I think. And you go through the club and you fight all these guys and you finally get to this point, which I thought was funny. You're like in front of a stage and the pink hair girl is on the stage and she jumps down. She's like, a little cackle. And then, the guy you have to fight, the ex comes out of the bathroom. And then behind him, another girl comes out of the bathroom. And it's like, he's got this goth girl and like, what's the term in Japan where they're like,
Kawaii?
I don't know. It's like a weird thing where they're like all bubbly and they have weird haircuts and they're fucking strange.
I think it's probably kawaii.
Whatever. And she's like pissed that this girl comes out of the bathroom with them. And they start fighting. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, this was really, really bizarre.
Yeah.
And this was one of the weirdest boss fights.
Yeah. Oh, he's such a fucking weird boss fight.
Yes.
But before the boss, you get like a mini boss. You have to fight the girl. So she's got like an extendo arm, like she's part robotic or something.
Yeah, I don't.
And the other girl could like teleport.
Yes, that was really weird.
I was like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
I just kept on chasing down the teleporting one.
Oh, so yeah, you could just literally beat her in like a second.
Yeah,
and she was both girls.
Yeah,
like I don't know the point in that.
I didn't either. It was
and then
weird.
They start fighting again, and one of them, their arm falls off, and the other one blows up, and I'm like, I didn't do anything.
This game is so bizarre sometimes. It's just so weird.
So this guy is fucked. He throws you. I thought this was really cool too. Again, moving wall thing. Mm-hmm. He throws you through a wall, and then he's coming at you with this weird fucking radiation power, and you have to like break the walls down to get away from him. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, no, that was definitely an interesting part of the game for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get into the boss fight area with him, and he does this
weird... It's not like in the street in an alley or something.
Yeah. Which I think is what happens in the movie too, which is kind of funny. They actually did, like, I don't know how accurate it is to the comics, but as far as the movie goes, like, a lot of things were really similar with the scenes of where everything takes place.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was a really cool touch. They did that at least. They didn't add the music, but they added the scenery.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had these weird giant attacks where he had these, like, things come out of him and he would do these, like, attacks, and you would just get obliterated by them if they hit you, but you just move up or down to dodge it.
It's really easy to avoid.
Yeah.
He doesn't move that much.
No.
He's like a radiation dude, too. So after he uses his big attack, he has to recharge or something. Like a cop car pulls up.
Yeah, that was so weird.
And I don't know why, but you can hit him while he's doing that, and it does a ton of damage to him.
Yeah, cop goes up and like puts the spotlight on him, and he's just sitting there. And you can just wail on him while he's doing that.
He's like Akira, because after you beat him, he blows up like Akira does in the movie. Have you seen Akira?
I have not.
So in the movie, like, the guy gets so big, he just starts turning into a massive, like, blows up. Takes the universe with him.
Oh, jeez.
But in this, that's similar. He just blows up, he gets really big, and then he's like, and he blows up, and then you defeated another X.
Yep.
You're doing it. And by the way, after every scene, like we said earlier, you're making out with Ramona. It's really weird. So in the first one, you're like on a swing set, I think, making out.
And then her friends are just like behind the swing set.
Yeah, on those little like horsey rides on the place.
The teeter-top horses, seesaw horses, or whatever they're called.
The weird ones. And they're just watching you. And then after the second one, I think you're in the sky?
I don't even remember.
I'm pretty sure you're in the sky making out on a cloud.
They were all so
so weird. Everyone's making out until you get to a certain one after the twins, I think.
I think so, or something like that.
So you defeat this guy, and now it's the ninja girl.
Yes.
And she's lesbian or bisexual or something, I don't know.
Yeah, she was her one female ex.
Yeah.
So, which means Ramona's bi, but I think the ex was a lesbian.
Yeah. I didn't like this level either. This level was just, they introduced so many new big villains.
Yeah.
And they were so hard. Yeah. Like, all of the samurai did a shit ton of damage.
Yes.
And if you didn't buy defense, you were fucked.
Yes.
So, but this is my grind cheese level. So some of these levels have two parts to them. So you have a main part and then the boss part. And the boss part can be separated a little bit, but you still do some stuff before that. You're able to go through the second part of this level and just get a shit ton of money. Like, each time it's like $80.
Yeah.
So, and it only takes like 2 minutes to get through.
Exactly.
So that's what I kept doing over and over and over again. But in this one, you're just fighting like a bunch of samurai and some ninjas and some fat girls who...
Yeah, those were really weird.
Yeah, kanochis.
I don't know if they were supposed to be like sumos or something.
No, they were ninjas. They had the ninja attire on. I know. Then a bunch of like bigger guys too.
Didn't they also have the
fire-breathing guys?
Yeah, had the samurais that could shoot fire.
Yeah, and they only had 1 health. It was fucking dumb.
God, I hated those though.
Yeah, but that
fire would burn you.
Yeah, they're disruptive.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you'd have people on fire running at you, trying to put you on fire. It's so weird.
Yeah, it was very, very strange.
Yeah, you get to this level fairly quickly though. It's a 3-parter, I think. I really like the part where we're on the subway.
Yes.
Because she slashes the first car and you jump up and then slashes you again. Like, it's really cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And I definitely gotta say, like, some of the weapons do a lot of damage. Like, I always really like the baseball bat. Especially the aluminum baseball bat.
And then picking up the swords.
And then, the swords were great.
So much fun. So yeah, you get through this, you go fight her. She's a little annoying because she just does ninja things. She replaces herself with a log.
Yeah, which was really funny. The first time you see her and she does that substitution jutsu and turns into a log, I was like, this is some Naruto shit right here.
Naruto shit. And then, so she teleports a little bit. She's got a smoke screen. She does a lot of cool stuff, but when she dies... I thought this was funny. You defeat her, she blows up. They all blow up.
Yes.
You punch them and they blow up.
Yes.
But she blows up into like these little plush dolls that you pick up in their money. And it's just stupid, but it's funny.
And each one is worth $2.
Yeah, I'm like, this is crazy good. And I love it because you think if you stand, like, this is the stupid part. You can stand on top of people who are blowing up.
Yeah.
And they just blow all their money into you.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I'm surprised I didn't take any damage. This person blowing up on top of me.
You just catch it with your butt cheeks.
Yeah. And we should say, in between these levels, there's these, like, other dimensional levels.
Yeah.
So we kind of touched on it a little bit. In the comics, I guess he's, like, into, like, pre-dimensions, like, in-between dimensions. And he's able to use that to, like, transport fast, like get to an area really quickly, because if you notice you skipped a bunch when you did that. And in these you can collect money, you just go through, there's no like worry, there's no enemies
there's
in it.
None at all.
So but you just collect money. It's like another grind part of the game.
Yeah, there's flying piggy banks that fly across the screen and they fly pretty fast, so you have to hit them really quickly to get gold from them.
I never got all of them. I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah, you get a couple of them, and then
they're not worth that much. It's not even barely like $2 or $3 or something.
Bricks in there that you can break. Yeah. Sometimes they give money, sometimes they don't.
There's like money blocks you can hit, and they just continuously give out 5 cents or something.
Yeah.
So
and then it has like a face on it once you worn it out.
So in going through those, it's just extra in the game or whatever. You defeat the ninja girl. Yes. And you do good. You have 4 X's so far.
Yes.
Ramona's looking a little worried at this point. I think this is like where they're still making out, but it's kind of getting to the point where it's kind of weird.
Yeah, and I think in this point in the game, Knives is getting, or in the movie, Knives is getting really jealous of them.
Yeah.
And Ramona doesn't know if
And
Scott's
Knives is one of your friends, right?
Knives is... She was your girlfriend, but she was an underage girlfriend.
Oh.
And then you met Ramona, and then you fell in love with Ramona instantly, and then you cheated on Knives with Ramona, and then you dumped Knives and started going after Ramona.
So you're a piece of shit.
And then Knives gets all mad, and she gets all like crazy and actually like comes in and like fights a couple people and stuff.
And she's like, I'm 14 years old. Do you want this 14-year-old tone?
I think she was 17.
Whatever.
I think she ends up like in the movie, I think there's multiple endings.
Yeah.
There's one ending where you run off with Ramona, and there's one ending when you run off with Knives.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a weird thing with like this weird love triangle where he likes them both and doesn't know which one he should like, and Ramona's trying to kick him to the curb but also really likes him, and it's so weird, and they do that in this game pretty well, because you do feel that you're like, this is like getting weird between
there's like always girls watching you. It's really strange. I think my favorite thing is when the little 8-bits dance. Did you notice? It's really fun. I don't know why it's so funny, but it's fucking hilarious. Like they're going back and forth, and their boobs are like...
Yeah, I was going to say...
Like, what is wrong with you guys? You 8-bitted this shit.
Especially like when you're just like the coffee shop and stuff, and the girls just sitting there like...
Yeah, like they're just moving their chest. And
look at my tits!
Yeah, that's really all it is. It's fan service to
do you want a coffee or hot chocolate?
Degree. Yeah, it's so weird. But yeah, as you're going through, this is when it, like I said, it starts getting a little weird in the cutscenes. Like she starts seeming a little worried. And I think it's because you're becoming something weird, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't understand the Nega Scott thing, but we'll get up to that point.
Yeah, I don't either.
So the next 2, 5 and 6, you fight at the same time.
Yes.
They're twins.
Yes.
And they're Asian.
Yes.
And they're geniuses.
And that's their powers, is they're Asians.
Yes.
We're not just being racist. That's literally how it's listed.
So you go to like a club, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, you go to a... Well, I guess it is some sort of club because it's
first, and then
it's supposed to be where they did the Battle of the Bands contest with him.
So you go to this club and you fight through like an assortment of enemies you've already seen, and then they add robots in now because obviously they're geniuses. They gotta have their own robot army.
Which the robots, some of them were annoying.
By the way, this was my absolute least favorite level.
Yeah,
I fucking hated this because of. So this is where I was like, I really need to bring my defense up because I just kept dying. The first part is really easy, and then once you get past the first part, you're like, I fucking died again.
It's stupid.
Yeah. So in the first part of this, you're in this club, and I thought this was really cool. You go outside of the club, like on the scaffolding, and you fight this little robot, and it's like size small, and then the next robot you get size maximum,
gigantic.
Yeah, and you're on the scaffolding, and you have to go up while the robot's destroyed.
Stupid.
That's why you need to have your speed up. Like this is the part where they're like, "All right, you fucked up."
I literally couldn't get up fast enough, so I just kept on getting hit by him.
Yep,
and it would just because he would destroy the scaffolding or the exit staircase or whatever that's called.
Yeah, the fire escape.
Fire escape.
I call it scaffolding.
He would destroy the fire escape or the scaffolding that you were on, and then you would just teleport to the level right above where you were at.
But you take 20 damage to it.
Yes, and then there's enemies too during this time, and I'm like, it doesn't give you time at all to fight these enemies during this time.
I kept doing that, and then I went and I grinded, and I got my defense and speed up. I'm like, oh, this is way easier with speed up. Like this, wow, I didn't get hit once because my speed is so good now. So speed was the other stat that we forgot about.
So I just went. I made it to the top, but I lost, I think, a life and a half.
So you make it to the top, and you have to fight. And this is the weird part too. You fight this robot who's literally you're just fighting his hands.
it's like Master Hand battle from Super Smash Bros.
And Crazy Hands. Because they're both, there's two hands.
It literally is. And they do different attacks, and they do all this weird stuff. And
you just have to wear them down, and you destroy one, and then you destroy the other, and you're done. But he does some annoying shit in between this. Like, the rockets are fucking annoying.
Oh, God.
It's just a barrage of rockets they shoot, and they land like 20 of them just land in random spots. They're not following you by any means, but... really annoying, and then he's got this giant laser that he'll shoot to, and so you defeat the hands and you think, oh, I defeated the twins. Nope. This is the part where I was just so pissed, because you go to this like, I don't know, lair of some kind. It's like a mansion. Yeah, and it's really cool, but like there's so many tough enemies. So this is where I had to stop and grind, and if you lose here, you restart the whole fucking thing over, even though this is a different node. I was so pissed. I'm like, make a fucking checkpoint.
Luckily, because I maxed out it myself. Well, it's even maxed out myself, I struggled on some of these levels.
Once I got my defense up, I was fine.
I didn't lose any, so I didn't ever lose all of my lives throughout the game. I've managed to always go out and buy lives in between if I needed to.
If you lose them, it's fine. It just restarts you at 3. I would do that on purpose to get back to 3 lives before certain battles.
Well, that's good to know. I didn't know what it would do. So,
you go through this mansion and you have to fight the twins as the boss now. What do you fight them as? What do they do? Because all I can remember is the robot fight.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember too.
Yeah, see, and this is just the twins were just such a boring fight.
It was so long. Like, seriously, because it was multiple stages. This stage, and then this stage,
which makes sense because it is 2 bosses technically.
Yeah. But it just felt like...
Oh, by the way, you're fighting the twins because she was with one of them and cheated on him with the other twin. And I was like, Ramona's a piece of shit.
She really is.
She is an asshole.
Well, that's why a lot of people even say, like, a lot of people, like,
she's
for the movie...
bad guy.
Everyone's like, Ramona sucks. Like, Knives is by far the better choice.
Yeah.
Like, because Knives is just fully desperately in love with him. Almost to the levels of, like... Death Note, the blonde Misa.
No, not good. Not good at all. But, so you fight the twins in some unremembered... I don't know. It's not worth remembering.
It's really not.
I got through that fight so quickly. The fight itself was easy. Just getting up to it was fucking annoying.
Yes.
And then that's 5 and 6. And now... So after you beat this, you're not making out with Ramona in the cutscene anymore. She looks worried. She's looking at you like she's really worried.
Probably because Gideon's coming up.
No, because Negascott.
Oh, yeah.
What is Negascott? Do you know?
So, it's all of the worst parts of him.
Okay.
So it's...
materialized into a person?
Yes. So all of his... Like, because at this point he had cheated on Knives and he had done all this other stuff.
Which it doesn't explain any of this in the game, by the way.
Like... I think he, like, did something against one of his friends as well, and, like, all of this negative stuff started happening because of how infatuated he was with Ramona, that Negascott manifest.
Yeah, and then you have to fight Negascott, which I still don't quite understand why.
I don't fully get it.
So this is not a boyfriend ex or anything. This is just the bad parts of you. And even after defeating it, like, Ramona's still looking at you like she's worried.
I think it's just because of Gideon, like, has control over her or something. If I remember right in the movie,
Gideon's weird.
Gideon's so bizarre. Like,
this whole story is fucking weird.
So, like, even in the movie, I think, like, at one point, like, Gideon, like, makes her come with him.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what? Why are you doing this? You don't have to go with him. And she's like, oh, I do. And she's like, all really got that worried face and stuff. And I'm like, what is going on in this? And they don't explain this at all. Like, you really have to watch. I would watch the movie and play the game.
Yeah, honestly, I wanted to do that and I didn't because I did not understand what was going on.
Like, I want to even rewatch the movie again after playing this because I'm like, I need to make sense of some of this stuff because I think he even does fight himself in the movie.
Okay, maybe we'll watch the movie. So now you have to fight Gideon.
Fuck Gideon.
So this is a really annoying level. This is one of the most annoying concepts to a level. It's an elevator level. So you're on an elevator going down to the bottom. Gideon already went down. And every checkpoint, you have to destroy latches that stop the elevator.
Yeah, every time you get to a new floor, or like every 20 floors or 10 floors or something, it stops, clamps come down, you have to break each clamp, and then you have to defeat all the enemies. Which, there was one spot on the back right side of the elevator that was just like a escape hatch that was just broken or something.
Yeah.
And you could just throw enemies into that.
Oh, you could just throw them off over the edge.
Yeah.
Literally, I would just like slide and it would make them jump a little bit and it just go off over the edge. So this wasn't a hard part. It was just annoying.
It was really annoying.
It wasn't fun at all. Like, I really didn't like this part of the game.
No.
This boss battle was so fucking obnoxious, and
until
I figured out a cheese for it, it was just so dumb.
Yes.
So you get to the bottom and you have to fight Gideon. Like, this is a pretty quick level.
Yeah.
For the most part, you just do the elevator.
Really
you do a little bit into the elevator, and then you're fighting Gideon.
Yeah, because then right after that, you fight those people with the electric wands and stuff too.
Yeah. But that's after the second Gideon.
Oh yeah,
fight,
yeah. You're right.
So during the first one, there's not a lot to do.
No.
Then you get Gideon. And he looks like a nerd, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't just me. I was like, this guy looks like a fucking loser.
So, like, in the movie, he's just got long, like, hair down to his shoulders, and he's got, like, these cool shades, and he wears, like, a white... Movie? I don't even know.
Oh. Sort of Chris Evans then.
Like, he was probably the least famous of everyone in the movie.
Yeah. And he's the most important character.
Because even, Ramona in the movie, she's, like... She's in a lot of things. I can't remember her name off the top of my head either.
I can't remember.
But she's like in Sky High as well. She's the main bad guy in Sky High.
She's the one who got turned into a baby.
Yeah, she's the one who turned everyone into a baby and then got turned into a baby.
Twice. Because she did the first time and then...
again,
then,
that's right. Because she had to relive all of her childhood
Dad
again.
was like, maybe I'll do it right this time. I'm like, I'm taking that baby away from you.
And Dean Pelton was her...
oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember
from Community.
Yeah, I love that guy. So you get to the first Gideon fight, and it's not hard.
It's not. The first one's not bad.
Yeah, he tears off his shirt, and of course he's like super buff underneath. He doesn't look like it,
which is super weird. Because after you first.
He grows too.
Yeah, after you first defeat him, he takes off his shirt and then like a beam comes out of his chest.
No. He has his shirt off originally, remember?
Yeah.
So
so
he tears off his shirt and then he grows it's like the Grinch. His heart grows 6 sizes bigger or something. He grows a little bit bigger and he's like all muscular now. And this fight's really kind of just mechanic based.
Yeah, it's not bad.
He flies at you to uppercut you and you can stop him in the middle of that. Then he turns invulnerable for like 10 seconds or something.
Yeah.
You can't hit him at all while he's doing that. But he's so easy to avoid.
Yeah, he really is.
Like, this fight is not hard, but once you defeat him, like Steven was saying...
So yeah, then he
weird.
A fucking beam comes out of his chest and like absorbs you in it, and then it launches you into the air, and you're like, what the fuck is this game?
So you're inside Gideon now.
So then, you're inside, and you have to, it's this platforming level.
Yeah. With
blood dropping down on you that damages you.
And knocks you. So it can knock you over the edge, and you can take damage from that.
And yeah, it's just platforming. There's a couple of bats or something that flies at you. I can't remember exactly what it is.
You can't defeat them really, because they'll always hit you. This level is so weird. So you platform for what? 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and then you're into another fight with Gideon.
Yes.
Only this time, he's fucking
He absorbed all the other X's. And then so they're part of his stomach.
So now he's huge.
And he's massive.
Yeah. So the first thing he does is he goes up into the air and his stomach is all you fight with all the and it's just faces of the X's. And this was a really easy part. They throw weird balls at you that you can avoid easy. And you just kick them. You just keep kicking them.
Before you get onto this mountain to fight those, there's this cloud that has this heart sword that you can pull out of the cloud too, and you can use it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I fought him with my kicks.
That weapon is powerful as fuck.
Oh, nope, I didn't use
that. It was doing I think 42 damage a hit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was doing with my kicks.
Oh, okay.
So, this one's easy. You defeat the faces. Yeah. And then he comes down, and he's the most
fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking boss in this entire... I hate this boss.
You can only damage him if you hit his heart.
Yes.
So all this, it shows damage from hitting his hands, but it doesn't actually damage his main HP. It just does stuff.
It's so stupid. And he's got this stupid attack, which is just a straight punch. Yeah. You're on this tiny, tiny little fucking platform tower.
Which he makes even smaller.
Yes. And whenever he punches you, if it hits you, it knocks you off the fucking tower.
And you take 3 or 4 damage from falling.
And then, he does this punch 7 times in a row.
Yeah.
So if you don't block immediately from respawning, you'll just get hit back off again. And I took a video of it. I'll probably post it on here of me getting hit just over and over again off of the edge of the fucking cliff.
I thought there would be a limit to how many times he does it? There really isn't.
No.
So this is the cheese part. So he's doing this weird thing where he's covering up the middle of his chest because his heart's like exposed.
Yeah.
And the only time he doesn't is when he's punching or when he's about to release like demons from his heart that can hit you. So what I found, if you jump and kick him, he doesn't punch you ever.
Which I didn't know.
Yeah, I was just trying everything in my, because I did this fight like 7 times because I was so pissed off because I'm like, this is so fucking dumb. It was so obnoxious. So if you jump and kick him, he doesn't hit you, and eventually he'll just open up and you can kick his heart. And then depending on how high you are with the kick, those things that he shoots out of his heart will miss you.
Oh, geez.
So, like, it's the weirdest shit. And then he doesn't punch you, but you don't do damage. So I got him to half health almost immediately.
Oh, wow.
But then he didn't open up again. So the next 10 minutes are me just kicking him until he finally fucking opened up and I could kill him.
Damn. So, yeah, for me, what I had to do was I was getting just destroyed by him. He made me go through 3 lives within the first 15 minutes of fighting him. Like, I was just so pissed off. I only had 4 lives going into this. So I was like, I do not want to do all of these fights again because it's a 3-stage fight or a 4-stage boss fight. And it's a lot. And so, yeah, I was going through and eventually... Because I had never actually used block most of the game.
Yeah, I don't ever use it.
I finally started using block to block the punches. Yeah. And you take no damage and you don't move. Like, it slides you back just a little bit.
And you can slide up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then start blocking again. I tried that, but unfortunately, because of the way his mechanics work, he doesn't have a number of hits you can block before he stops doing it. He just keeps doing it until he doesn't feel like it anymore.
Yeah, so it was typically between 7 and 10 hits he would stop.
See, and that's what I found. And then one time it was 30, and I was like, this is fucking horseshit. Yeah, I'm like, what? When is he going to stop?
So yeah, it was just so fucking frustratingly annoying. Like, I was screaming at my console. I'm not even going to deny it. Like, I haven't been this mad at a game in a while.
I hated this. Seriously, this game, mechanic-wise, this game was horrible.
Yes.
With these bot fights, they were so... This one, and I get it's the last boss, but fucking still.
Seriously.
Make it manageable. It's like playing Dark Souls. Only Dark Souls at least has an end in sight.
Exactly. And Dark Souls at least has, like, you know what to do. Like, if you get hit, it's because, I didn't dodge quick enough. Yeah. This time it's just, you're just gonna get hit.
Yeah. You can figure out the mechanics in Dark Souls. Here you can't.
Yes.
It's fucking random. But you defeat his big body.
Yes.
And then you have to go... Is this where you realize you're in a hologram?
Something I don't even remember.
No, you just get out. So this is weird. So you're fucking like you get out of his big body and you're in like a like facility of some kind.
Yeah, you're in this underground facility underneath this club that he owns.
Yeah, so and then you have to fight through this and fight all these fucking annoying robots and she-devils and like this horrible level. I hated this level.
Yes.
And you get to him again. And you have to defeat him a 3rd time. And this time, after you defeat him, it's really fucking dumb. Turns out you were in a hologram the entire time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck you. Fuck you, you dick. You're making me defeat you in a fucking hologram.
Seriously.
Oh, God. And then he blows.
Yep.
It's another blow up.
Yep.
Oh, God. And then that last fight wasn't hard at all.
No.
The 3rd one is really easy.
All you have to do last fight is, seriously.
Like, do the tech power you have.
Just do your tech power and then juggle him and he's just dead. Like, it's the easiest. You go from the hardest battle to the easiest one.
Hands down easiest. Down. And yeah, you realize you're on a hologram and he blows up and you're like, I did it. Now Ramona's mine. And then Ramona's gone.
Yes. And then all of a sudden you walk out and you have 3 girlfriends.
Yeah, this is where I was like, a dude totally wrote this. This is like, no woman would write this. Like, and the main character fucks all 3 of them. Like, what?
Yeah, it's Knives, Kim, and somebody else. I can't remember her name. Darcy or something, maybe.
I don't even know. I didn't know any of these characters existed. It doesn't explain that Knives is your ex in this game. Like, I have no idea what's going on.
It doesn't explain, like, shit. Like, you really have had to have seen the movie or read the comics to understand this game at all. And that's one of the things that sucks about this game is you have to have an intense knowledge of this fandom to even play this.
And it was funny to me because as soon as it said like, and then Scott Pilgrim fucked all three, I'm like, dude wrote this.
Seriously,
whoever wrote this was definitely a horny dude. It's just like, and Ramona's gone though. It doesn't explain. Like it says like, there's a little outro thing where it's like, and he got with knives and this person, and Ramona was gone, but maybe he'll go after her. And I'm like, does he go after her? What the fuck happens to Ramona? I'm so confused. Because it made it sound like Gideon was a Greek god of some kind.
Yeah, it was.
So that's what it made it sound like. Because explaining his character and stuff, it seemed like he was like a god and put a curse on Ramona.
Something
and that's
like
why
that.
all her boyfriends end up evil.
Yeah,
and that's why I thought maybe Negascott came from that.
Yeah,
But Gideon turns out he's just a fucking scientist nerd.
Totally.
I get so confused. And Ramona's gone, and you're like, well, I guess I'm fucking whatever.
I'm just fucking these three females.
And one of them's underage, so that's cool.
Yeah, why not?
I'm really culting this up now. Ooh. I've got my harem of underage girls.
Way to go full anime.
Yeah.
Give us a harem at the end.
Right? It's full, what is that cult in Texas? The fucking like every cult that you've ever heard of, they always have like a harem of underage girls. They're like, I'm Jesus and I have to fuck. Are you talking about that
sex cult Nexium?
No. Well, that's one of them. That's definitely one of them. The one in Waco, Texas.
I can't remember.
The government
what that
fucked it off. Who knows? Probably Children of God of some bullshit that they.
There was one called Children of God that was a sex cult.
Yeah, they always and they're always like fucking kids, and they're like, it's because God wants me to, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true.
Well. It's not technically like God wants me to. It's that I have gods in my bloodstream.
I am Jesus.
And because I have gods in my bloodstream and I know how to access them, they know how to talk to me. And because they talk to me, they tell me I need to fuck those 14-year-olds.
And they're like, listen, I just made your dick really hard, so go get it. Yeah, and then this game ends just so weirdly.
Bizarre.
Yeah. But I mean, there's no like follow-up. You don't know what happened to Ramona. I'm still confused to who the girls were. Who's Kim? Was she the ninja? I thought she was the ninja. I'm like, who are these girls? Where did they come from?
I think I don't really remember because I think that her lesbian girlfriend might have like thought you were cute as well at one point, and then one of the girls I think is one of the girls that's in your band. So
yeah, that's what I thought too. But it doesn't explain the band aspect of this game.
Yeah, it doesn't talk about his bandmates at all. It doesn't talk about his brother at all. Which his brother is in the movie is Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Oh, really?
Yes. So Macaulay Culkin's brother is your roommate who's gay in the movie. And it's funny, at one scene in the movie, like after he has a date with Ramona, he wakes up and they actually share a bed. So
the brother. The roommate.
The roommate, his gay roommate. Him and his bed with his gay roommate.
I like that.
He wakes up one time and his gay roommate has a guy in the bed with him too. Right. So there's three guys in the bed. They all, and it's so bizarre. But but
it's funny. I like that.
Oh yeah, like the movie is fantastic.
Yeah, I think I would have enjoyed this game more if I watched the movie again.
For anyone who hasn't seen this movie, I definitely suggest watching it. It is a indie classic for sure. Like it is so like
Michael Cera plays Scott Pilgrim perfectly.
So perfectly.
Perfectly.
Literally all the casting for this. And literally you'll be watching this movie and like there's even other people in it, like Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
She's in this movie.
I love Aubrey Plaza. She's so
That's who Kim was, I think.
Aubrey, really?
Yeah. Okay. So I think it was Knives, your bandmate, and the girl who works at this store, Aubrey Plaza, who you talk to every once in a while.
Interesting.
And then there's two guys in your band as well.
You know, he really evolved. And he went from fucking Knives to fucking Ramona to fucking Knives, Ramona, Kim, and this random cashier chick all at the same time.
Yeah.
He evolved. Yes. I love it. Oh, God. Okay, I think that's it for story. Story has been told, and it's still confusing.
Which, if you know more about the story, or if we said anything wrong, put it in the comments, please. We want to know.
I might read the comic. Who fucking knows anymore? All right, are we ready to go to some reviewing? Some ratings?
Let's do that.
Worth, or not?
So, I struggle with nah or worth on this one. Because I hated the beginning, but it ended up pretty good.
I will say this game is $15.
It is, it's cheap.
So it's only $15.
I would buy it for $2. So
I say if you're a big fan, it might be worth. If you're a big fan of Scott Pilgrim, if you are a fan of side-scrolling beat-em-ups, it's worth it.
I think it's a worth game if you understand how to play it.
Yes.
If going in blind like I did, fucking horrible. It's
awful.
It's for sure not. But going in, understanding that you have to grind a little bit and then go in and have fun with it, I think it's worth, at the very least, worth. But I think it was a fun game. I did have fun and I did laugh a lot. I mean, it was funny.
Yes.
I'll give it that. I love the story, even though it wasn't very clear. And I think if you combine this with the movie, if you do both at this, like watch the movie, then play the game, this game is definitely worth.
Honestly, I would say that would be the best thing that you could do. If you could get a group of like 3 of your friends, get 4 of you together, watch the movie, and then immediately play the game.
And 1 dude, 3 girls, you got to live the game.
Yes.
That's what you're going to do. And then at the end of the game, you got to be as successful as Scott Pilgrim was. And if you're not, you lost that game. I would say that's a loss. Would you say that's a loss? Yeah. So if you're a dude,
except for I think the playable characters are your bandmates. I think so. It's 3 dudes and 1 girl.
I don't care. You got to get 3 girls, or if you're gay, I mean, 4 guys. You just have to pick which one of you is Scott Pilgrim. You're gonna have to decide that amongst yourself. I can't do that for you.
Very true.
So, and then I mean, circle jerk.
Yeah,
I'm into a good circle jerk.
Who isn't? Slow stroke.
Right. Yep. Just make sure you're doing it like not too hard. You gotta pay attention.
Lotion.
So yeah, I think this game is worth if you watch the movie with it.
Yeah, I definitely
do. I think if I watched the movie, I would have enjoyed this more.
Yeah.
So
and definitely like because the movie was still kind of fresh in my mind, and I love the movie so much. Like I did remember a lot of those things. Some of those things made more sense in some aspects. So I definitely like if you do get a group of friends together to do that, like you could make it even drinking games out of it. Like every time someone gets knocked or like
every time
someone's loses a life. Yeah, every time you defeat an X, every time you lose a life, drink, like you could make this a fun night with you. And you could get through this pretty quickly too.
Yeah, honestly, I think it took me like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It's only because of the grind.
Yeah.
2 hours if it's not a grind.
And you could do the Konami cheat to make the grind a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So that way you can start out with max stats and it just blaze through the game, which even that's still difficult.
Yeah. And you can play this on like I played it on Average Joe.
I did too.
I think there was Average Joe. I don't remember. The difficulties were all funny names. Yeah. But you can play it on a harder difficulty to get better. And you can be better than me. So,
yes.
There you go.
Anybody who plays this game is probably going to be better than me.
All right, guys. Well, that was it. That was Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game. A really long title. We did it. Yay! So next week's game is going to be
GoldenEye.
You have to say James Bond.
Oh, Bond. James Bond.
GoldenEye. And this is another, you know what's weird about this? I was thinking, like, we chose 2 games that are associated with movies.
Yes.
So now I'm going to watch the movie, because I already beat GoldenEye.
I need to watch the movie now, too.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the movie, because I watched it a long time ago, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
Don't hate me. I told this guy yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I have never watched a James Bond movie all the way through.
And I've literally seen all of them. James Bond was one of my favorite movies growing up. Like, I loved Dr. No is one of my favorites. From Russia with Love was a great fucking movie. Any Sean Connery one was amazing.
And you know the funniest thing
is? Even like Moonraker.
So I grew up, the only things James Bond that I ever did was the video games.
Yeah.
And because all the video games started out with Pierce Brosnan, I've always known James Bond as Pierce Brosnan. So anytime anybody's like, oh, who's the best James Bond? Hands down, the
only one I've seen.
Pierce Brosnan, man. He's the best, man.
He's
like, just the shit.
Hey, Roger Moore was a great James Bond. You shut your fucking whore mouth.
I just... like
Timothy Dalton was a great James Bond.
I just loved Pierce Brosnan.
I know all the Bonds, guys. I know all. I've seen all of them.
I knew Pierce Brosnan and Sean Connery.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, what's his name? Daniel
Craig.
Daniel Craig. There's another one in between there because like there was a weird thing with licensing where Sean Connery was James Bond at the same time as this other guy was. It might have been Roger Moore, but I think it was someone else. But yeah, we'll get into all this next week when we talk about the game. So thank you guys for listening again. Rate, review, subscribe, comment, share, whatever. Give us some love. Give us some hate. Give us something.
Tell Scotty looks pretty.
Oh, bitch.
You do. You look really pretty.
Bitch.
Oh, yeah, grab my tits.
All right. And with that, we are out of here.
Bye. Bye. Love you.